This list includes lesser-known places surrounded by rare natural wonders and distinct cultures. Located along the western shore of the Hallstätter Sea, Lake Hallstatt is a small village of only about 750 inhabitants, reminiscent of a world straight out of a fairy tale. The lake has an area of 850 km². The water surface reflects two colors of blue and green, surrounded by mountains higher than 2,000 meters. Ancient underground salt mines have been exploited for over 7,000 years, helping make Hallstatt an important prehistoric trading center. Some villages on our planet are so beautiful that they could inspire science fiction novels. They are set amidst breathtaking natural scenery, where mountains, forests, and rivers blend into vibrant pictures. Many villages have a deep historical imprint existing for centuries, some even over 800 years old. These are unique masterpieces created from the intersection of natural landscape and exquisite local architecture. There are villages located in remote, inaccessible locations, more than 100 kilometers from the nearest major city, creating a feeling of isolation from the modern world. Today, we will begin our journey to discover the most beautiful villages in the world where time seems to stand still. With narrow valleys and cliffs up to 400 meters high, the houses in Hallstatt were forced to be built tightly together between the mountainside and the lake shore. The village is only 15 kilometers wide, but every meter of land is utilized to the maximum, with buildings closely packed on the steep terrain. Highlights include the Protestant church with its 36-meter-high dome and the 12th century Catholic church set among ancient stone and wooden houses. Most of the houses have brightly colored facades and steep roofs designed to withstand up to 2 meters of snowfall in winter. A 30-meter high waterfall from the Mulbach stream flows through the middle of the village, bringing a babbling sound and coolness to the ancient space. Lauterbrunnen is widely recognized as one of the most beautiful villages in the world, located at an altitude of 780 meters in the heart of the Swiss Alps. This place is famous as the Valley of 72 Waterfalls, with waterfalls pouring from steep cliffs up to 300-meter high, creating a majestic scene all year round. Thanks to the melting snow from the Jungfrau and Silberhorn peaks, the water flow down the valley can reach 20,000 liters per minute in spring and summer. In 1911, the young writer J.R.R. Tolkien visited Lauterbrunnen and was so fascinated that he used the place as inspiration for the land of Rivendell in The Lord of the Rings. Despite welcoming more than 10,000 visitors each year, Lauterbrunnen still retains its original appearance, with 17th century wooden houses and the sound of cowbells echoing across the 8-kilometer-long valley. Located in the Bay of Kotor, a 28-kilometer-long and 60 meters deep bay, Parast is a quaint village that looks like it came straight out of an oil painting. The village stretches along the coast for just 1.5 kilometers, with the Orgen Mountains rising up to 1,000 meters behind and the calm waters of the Bay of Kotor in front. From the 15th to the 18th century, Parast belonged to the Republic of Venice and left its historical mark with more than 10 palaces, 19 churches, and a 55 high central bell tower, one of the tallest structures in the region. During its heyday with only about 300 inhabitants, Perast had 12 large palaces built by wealthy families of captains and merchants. Less than 500 meters from shore are two small islands, each less than 5 hectares wide, but home to two ancient churches that stand out on the water. The artificial island of Our Lady of the Rocks was created in the 15th century by dumping thousands of tons of rock and sinking more than 100 old ships, making it a popular pilgrimage site. Meanwhile, St. George Island is a natural island closed to visitors containing a more than 900-year-old Benedictine monastery and an ancient cemetery reserved for local aristocracy. The origins of Premostin date back to the Middle Ages, when people of the 350-kilometer-long Dalmatian coast sought refuge from Ottoman raids. The town center is located on a small island of about 7 hectares, once connected to the mainland by a drawbridge used for defensive purposes. Surrounded by dozens of small bays, several hundred meters long, interspersed with lush green forests that occupy more than 60% of the nearby landscape. Hamnoy and Rain are two fishing villages located in the southern Lofoten archipelago, an area of more than 80 islands and home to centuries-old fishing communities. Hamnoy is one of the oldest settlements here, dating back to the 17th century, and was once only accessible by small wooden boat in good weather conditions. Rain is in a beautiful location with scenery that appears frequently on postcards and Norwegian tourism brochures. Traditional red wooden cabins line the pier, which is about 300 meters long, creating an unforgettable image of this land. The highest point is Reinebringen, a 448-meter high mountain which can be conquered by a path of more than 1,500 stone steps. These steps were built by Sherpa teams using traditional Himalayan techniques, taking nearly 2 years to complete. Although the route is only about 1.6 kilometers long, the steep incline makes this one of the most challenging hikes in northern Norway. Grindelwald lies in the valley of the same name at the foot of majestic peaks, such as the 3967 Moas High Eiger, the symbol of the Bernese Alps. Although it appears in documents since 1146, the village only really became famous in the 19th century, when climbers from all over Europe began to flock there, with more than 1,000 people each year at that time. The area is surrounded by green grasslands, coniferous forests of more than 100 hectares, and steep cliffs up to 1,000 meters high, creating a magnificent landscape. The dark wooden houses from the 18th century are still preserved, creating a cozy atmosphere and a cultural feature of the Swiss Highlands. From May to September, local cows roam the pastures, creating the sound of cowbells that echo throughout the valley. Just a few hundred meters from the village center is a 6-kilometer cable car route, taking visitors to observation decks, snow resorts, and popular ski spots. Grindelwald First is a 2,167-meter high mountain peak, just a few kilometers from the village center, and is considered one of the most visited viewpoints in the Bernese Oberland. Mandrakia is a small fishing village located on the island of Milos in the Cyclades archipelago, which covers an area of about 160 kilometers and is famous for its coastal limestone landscape. The village consists of just over 20 houses located along the coast, surrounded by a few small streets. The houses all have sermatas, garages for boats and fishing equipment, carved into the foot of the cliffs 5 to 10 meters high. Traditionally, each family painted their surma a different color, from red, blue, yellow to white, so that it could be easily identified from a distance when on a boat at sea, especially on days when the sea was rough. Not far away is the village of Klima, located on a natural bay about 500 meters wide. The sea is clear blue, up to 6 meters deep. In front of the houses is a walkway along the shore, and the sea is calm, suitable for small boating and swimming. Positano is located on the west side of the Amalfi Coast near the Sorrento Peninsula, facing the Tyrrhenian Sea, with a coastline of up to 600 kilometers, and is notable for its flamboyant architecture and unique steep terrain. According to a 12th century legend, a ship carrying a painting of the Virgin Mary ran aground near the shore, and when the sailors heard the cry, "Posa Posa, stop," in Old Italian, they decided to build a church there, from which the name Positano was born. Thanks to its romantic beauty and pleasant climate, Positano attracts more than 500,000 tourists each year, especially couples who come here for their honeymoon and vacation amidst Mediterranean nature. A winding pedestrian street about 1.5 kilometers long leads from the town center down to Spiaggia Grande Beach, Positano's main beach, which is about 300 meters long and is bordered by cliffs covered with bougainvillea. Murren is perched precariously on a 1,838-meter high cliff from where you can fully admire the Lauterbrunnen Valley and the 158-meter high Jungfrau mountain range, sparkling with snow all year round. To get to Murren, it takes about 20 minutes by cable car or mountain train through steep sections of road up to 45 degrees. The wild nature blends with the ancient architecture over 800 years old to create a unique serenity, making Murren like a living museum in the middle of the mountains and forests. The steeply pitched roofs are designed to withstand an average of more than 3 meters of snow a year, with thick timber walls and traditional insulation keeping heat in effectively in winter. Oye, located on the island of Santorini in the Aegean Sea, is notable for its distinctive blue and white houses that are repainted periodically each year to protect against the sun and salt. The path leading up to Oya from Amudi Port consists of more than 300 steps. Each step is 15 to 20 centimeters high, a small challenge for visitors before reaching paradise. The houses are built along cliffs 70 to 100 meters high, taking advantage of the slope to create a beautiful multi-layered view of the sea. Originally just a shelter for fishermen today, these houses have been renovated into luxury resort villas and homestays attracting thousands of tourists every day. The winding streets less than 2 meters wide win between rows of white houses, giving visitors the feeling of stepping into a vivid postcard. Dozens of craft shops and small cafes line the walkway, welcoming more than 1 million tourists each year, especially crowded in the summer from June to September. Dubbed the Switzerland of America, the town of Auray is located at an altitude of 377 meters, surrounded by the steep cliffs of the San Juan Range in the Rocky Mountains. Maratea in the Basilicata region of Italy has a population of about 5,000 people in an area of 67 kilometers. It is known as the city of 44 churches, with chapels, monasteries, and cathedrals scattered from the top of the mountain to the edge of the Tyrrhenian Sea. Porus de Candelaria is hidden on the island of La Palma in a giant basalt cave nearly 50 meters high and 30 meters deep, with about 20 small houses huddled together on the shore of the stormy Atlantic Ocean. Since the 17th century, fishermen have used the area as a refuge from pirates, with houses using the cliffs as walls and roofs. Today, the area still has no major roads and can only be accessed by boat or a steep trail of more than 2 kilometers. Morcote, a village on the shores of Lake Lugano in the canton of Ticino, Switzerland, located at an altitude of 272 meters and with a population of about 700, was voted the most beautiful village in Switzerland in 2016. Featuring Renaissance architecture and 17th century cobblestone streets, the biggest attraction is the Santa Maria del Sasso Church, located at an altitude of 370 meters with more than 400 steps leading to the top of the hill for panoramic views of the shimmering lake below. Rothenburg ob der Tauber, located in the state of Bavaria, Germany, has a population of about 11,000 people and is notable for its 3.5-kilometer-long wall surrounding the entire old town, built in the 14th century and still intact today. The city was once a member of the Free Imperial Cities. The 13th century town hall, which stands 52 meters high, is still open to visitors, with the bell tower still open for views of the medieval city. Barichara is an ancient village in the Santander region of Colombia, located at an altitude of about 136 meters, with a population of approximately 7,000 people, notable for its serenity and pure white architecture standing out among the deep green mountains. Often considered Colombia's most beautiful town, Barichara maintains a strict classical architectural style with whitewashed walls, red-tiled roofs, and solid wooden doors. The average year-round temperature is around The main square in the 18th century Church of the Immaculate Conception, built of yellow sandstone, serve as a community gathering point and cultural center of the town, especially during major religious holidays throughout the year. Phoenix ancient town, also known as Phoenix City, is located at an altitude of about 926 meters in Phoenix County, Hunan Province, China, with an area of about 10 kilometers and a population of nearly 50,000 people. The village has a history of more than 1,300 years and is a cultural melting pot of more than 28 ethnic minorities, mainly the Miao and Tujia people, accounting for 65% of the local population. The Hunan 400 kilometers long Tuo River flows through the old town, where hundreds of two-story wooden stilt houses line both banks, many of which date back to the Qing dynasty, and still retain traditional wooden architecture without nails. People believe in a legend that a water god resides in the river, protecting them from floods and droughts. Water-related folk festivals, such as the Divine Boating Festival, are still held every year in the 5th lunar month. Rovinj is located on the west coast of the Istrian Peninsula. Croatia has a population of about 14,300 people and is one of the prominent tourist destinations with more than 1.5 million visitors per year. The town center was an isolated island until the 18th century, when a 100-meter wide canal was filled in to expand the urban area, creating a distinctive old town with a strong Venetian style. Along the coast, more than 200 ancient houses painted in brick, red, pale yellow, and peach orange stand close together, reflecting on the clear blue water of the Adriatic Sea, creating a vivid, picturesque scene. On top of the hill is the 61-meter-high Basilica of St. Euphemia, built in the 17th century in the Baroque style. From the bell tower, visitors can enjoy panoramic views of the town, the sea, and the small islands off the coast of Istria. Monemvasia is a fortress city located on the southeastern coast of the Peloponnese Peninsula in the province of Laconia, Greece, with a population of about 1,500 and an area of about 1.5 km². The city was built in 583 on a limestone island, 1.8 kilometers long and about 300 meters wide, and was completely isolated from the mainland until a stone road was opened in the 19th century. Steep cliffs up to 100 meters high surround the entire island, making it an impregnable military fortress for centuries. Within the ancient city walls, the town retains more than 30 cobblestone alleys, along with hundreds of original stone houses dating from the Byzantine period, many of which are still inhabited today. Seychelles is located on the Atlantic coast of Madeira Island, Portugal, at an altitude of about 50 meters above sea level and has about 6,000 inhabitants. The basalt cliffs surrounding the village are over 300 meters high, covered by the Laura Silva forest, an ancient rainforest covering over 15,000 hectares and recognized by UNESCO as a natural heritage. The area has more than 20 peaks over 3,600 meters high, with snow-capped slopes creating a spectacular view all year round. Ore receives an average of 300 inches of snow each year, creating more than 15 large and small waterfalls that flow along the cliffs and lush valleys. The Bear Creek, about 3 kilometers long, cascades down a steep cliff, while the Uncompahgre River, 120 kilometers long, meanders along the edge of town, creating a rare natural harmony. Burano is a small island of about 0.21 km, just 7 kilometers northeast of central Venice, notable for its brightly colored canal houses. Every year, this place welcomes more than 1 million visitors to visit the small canals and rows of brightly painted houses reflecting on the water. Since the 16th century, Burano has thrived on fishing and lace making. Its inhabitants use 12 main colors to distinguish their houses in the dense fog of the marshlands. The 53-meter-high San Martino Bell Tower leans about 1.83 meters to the southeast, considered a miniature version of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right in the middle of Burano Island. Located on the Costa Verde between Rio de Janeiro 245 km and São Paulo 293 km, Haradi was a golden transit point in the 18th century and is today famous for its cultural festivals that attract over 300,000 visitors each year. Setenil de las Bodegas is a small village in Cádiz province with about 800 inhabitants, notable for its houses built directly under and inside giant limestone boulders. The canyons here were carved by the Trejo River over 5,000 years and are up to 30 meters deep. Some houses have roofs made from blocks of stone, weighing more than 1,000 tons, providing shade during the summer. In summer, the temperature inside the cave is just 20 Fahrenheit, kept constant by thick layers of insulating stone and natural humidity. It is one of the few examples of natural architecture still inhabited on a daily basis in Europe. Trani is the smallest village in Italy, with an area of only 0.12 miton and a population of about 870 people, nestled on the beautiful Amalfi Coast. Located at the mouth of the 1.2-kilometer-long Dragon Valley, it was once a retreat for nobles during the Middle Ages, with its labyrinthine narrow alleys leading down to the sea. The houses are built close together along the mountainside, 5 to 7 stories high, connected by more than 200 stone steps in small corridors less than 2 meters wide. Henningsvær is a small fishing village in the Lofoten archipelago, Norway, with a population of about 500. The village is located on several small islands connected to the mainland by 2 bridges about 600 meters long, spanning the cold sea. Since the 16th century, Henningsvær has been famous as the region's major cod fishing center. Every winter, it processes over 20,000 tons of dried fish, a tradition that continues to this day with hundreds of drying racks set up close to the sea. Henningsvær Football Stadium is famous worldwide for its unique location. Located on the island of Helensøya, built on flat basalt rock surrounded by the Norwegian Sea, and with no stands, just the wind and the mountains for company. The wooden buildings here are painted in shades of red, yellow, or deep blue. Each is no more than 3 stories high and is solidly built to withstand the sea breeze and winter temperatures that can drop below 10 grader Celsius. Gondria is nestled on the eastern slopes of Lake Lugano at an altitude of about 276 meters above sea level, with a population of less than 200 people, creating a peaceful and poetic lakeside village. The town is linked to the ancient Via Regina trade route that once connected Italy to Switzerland. The 925-meter-high Monte Bray slopes down to the water's edge, creating stunning views of the lake and mountains. The alleys in the village are so narrow that they are less than 1 meter wide and were paved with stone in the 18th century. Ancient steps still lead people up and down between the steep levels of the village. Many of the houses in Gondria are built from local granite, just steps from the edge of Lake Lugano. The thick walls and ancient tiled roofs create a somber atmosphere, reminiscent of the golden age of trade in the Swiss mountains and lakes. Santa Maddalena is located at an altitude of about 1,939 meters in the 24-kilometer-long Funes Valley in the Dolomites Range, an area recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site since 2009, thanks to its majestic limestone landscape and rare biodiversity. The village has only about 500 inhabitants. The Church of Santa Maddalena was built in the 14th century on a hillside where people said they saw a divine light falling from the sky, becoming the spiritual symbol of the area. Chora is the capital of the island of Mykonos, located in the Cyclades archipelago in the Aegean Sea, with a population of about 7,000. The name Chora is widely used for the capitals of many other Greek islands. The Old Quarter is a maze of more than 200 cobblestone alleys where the distinctive white houses are dotted with blue, red, or yellow shutters with an average width of less than 2 meters, creating an intimate and romantic atmosphere. The town has more than 60 small churches, the most notable of which is Little Venice, with its 18th century buildings. Many of the 3-story seaside houses were once used as warehouses and residences for Venetian merchants during the golden age of trade on the Aegean Sea. Chefchaouen is located at an altitude of about 564 meters and is one of the most prominent cities in northern Morocco with a population of nearly 43,000. The name in Berber means seeing the horn of the mountain, referring to its location near the Rif Mountains. The town was founded in 1471 as a fortress to protect against invasions from the Iberian Peninsula. Today it is a cultural crossroads between Arabs, Berbers, and descendants of Andalusians. After the fall of Granada in 1492, thousands of Moriscos and Sephardic Jews fled to Chefchaouen, bringing with them mosaics, vaulted architecture, and unique religious practices. The Medina's Old Town has streets just 0.8 to 1.2 meters wide, winding around the mountainside paved with blue and white stones, highlighting the serenity between the high walls covered with bougainvillea. The distinctive blue color now covers more than 80% of the buildings in the town dating back to the 17th century. It is theorized that the color not only represents spirituality, but also helps repel mosquitoes and cool the summer heat when temperatures can reach 35 degrees. Ushguli, located at an altitude of about 2,100 meters, is one of the highest continuously inhabited communities in Europe, with a population of only about 200 people in a harsh climate all year round. The area is part of the Svaneti region and includes 4 medieval villages, Gibiani, Shvibiani, Chajashi, and Murkmeli. All were declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1996. In winter, snow covers the area from November to April, sometimes reaching more than 2 meters, isolating roads for weeks at a time. The most prominent features are the stone koshki towers, 20-25 meters high, dating from the 9th to 13th centuries. They were used as watchtowers and shelters during Highland conflicts. San Miguel de Allende is located on the central Mexican plateau at an altitude of 1,900 meters, with a current population of about 175,000 people, and is a leading cultural tourist destination in Mexico. The town was recognized as a Pueblo Mágico before becoming a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008 thanks to its historic architecture and role in revolutionary history. It was also the birthplace of the hero Ignacio Allende, 1769-1811, who played a leading role in Mexico's struggle for independence. The historic center covers an area of about 6.4 kilometers, including more than 2,000 architectural works in Baroque and neoclassical styles, especially the nearly 60-meter-high pink stone church, Parroquia de San Miguel Arcángel, the sacred symbol of the city. The Parroquia de San Miguel Arcángel was first built in 1742 and reconstructed in the late 19th century by the self-taught Mason Zeferino Gutierrez. European Gothic style is combined with indigenous art, creating a unique Mexican masterpiece. The city has a population of about 140,000 and attracts more than 1.5 million visitors a year, mainly from the United States and Europe. It is one of the small cities with the highest quality of life in Mexico, with more than 100 major cultural festivals taking place each year. Ys is a small village perched precariously on a 427-meter-high hilltop with sweeping views of the Mediterranean Sea, the city of Nice, 12 kilometers away, and Monaco, just 8 kilometers away. Nicknamed the Eagle's Nest because of its precarious location, Ys was under the control of the House of Savoy in the 14th century. The old town covers about 1 km, has more than 60 ancient cobblestone streets surrounded by thick medieval limestone walls, many of which are up to 4 meters high. Alberobello is a small town in the Puglia region of southern Italy, with a population of about 10,000 people, notable for its more than 1,500 trolley houses, unique structures from the 16th century. The trolley's conical limestone roofs, which range from 3 to 5 meters high, were laid dry without mortar to avoid taxation during the rule of the Kingdom of Naples. In 1996, the entire Trulli district was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Marsaxlokk is a fishing village located in the southeast of the island of Malta, with a population of over 3,500. Its name is a combination of Marsa, meaning port, and Xlokk, the name of the southeast wind that blows through the area. More than 200 traditional luzu boats are moored in the port, each about 5 to 8 meters long, painted in bright yellow, red, and blue, and with the Eye of Osiris on its prow to protect fishermen from disaster at sea. The city of Ronda is located at an altitude of 739 meters above sea level, bisected by the El Tahoe Canyon, 120 meters deep, and about 68 meters wide, eroded by the Guadalquivir River over millions of years. The 66-meter-long, 98-meter-high Puente Nuevo stone bridge, completed in 1793, after 34 years of construction, has become an architectural icon of Ronda and a tourist attraction that attracts more than 300,000 visitors each year.